Call it interview interrupted. A local radio host went toe-to-toe with Congresswoman Corrine Brown. The Congresswoman called in to WJCT's First Coast Connect, a local public radio show. But when the conversation started to rub the Congresswoman the wrong way, she stopped that interview. Mike Tobert joins us live in the action cam from the south side to roll the tape. And Mike, has the dust settled?
Apparently not just yet, Mark. The show was on 89.9 FM, a morning radio show, and the topic was gerrymandering, what some people consider is going on with Congresswoman Corrine Brown's district. She says otherwise. The conversation, though, didn't last for very long.
So as far as I am concerned,
I think it should go. But, you know, basically, I don't see myself going on the show. No, not now.
And the Congresswoman tells me what she hoped to get out was that she has hired an attorney and she plans to let the courts settle the matter. We're live. Mike Tobert, Action News.
It's important to note that Brown's district, which leans Democratic, was drawn by a Republican-controlled legislature.
Deaf patients say a local hospital made it impossible for them to get the medical attention they needed. Covering more local coverage now at 10, the lawsuit alleges that Baptist Hospital ignored deaf patients' unique needs when they came in to see a doctor. In the complaint, the patients say the hospital violated the Americans with Disabilities Act by not providing an interpreter. One client, who was both deaf and blind, claims she couldn't communicate, and the hospital staff gave her a stuffed monkey to console her. Folks at Baptist had no comment on the suit. New tonight, police need your help finding the vandals who defaced this beautiful fountain in Memorial Park. It took crews 8 hours to sandblast the graffiti off the base of the fountain. If you have any information for police, call Crime Stoppers. The tip line is 866-845-TIPS. Governor Charlie Crist has vetoed a bill that would require women seeking an abortion during their first trimester to undergo an ultrasound exam and pay for it. Crist vetoed that bill today, saying it put an inappropriate burden on women seeking an abortion. Democrats and many female Republican senators asked Crist to veto the bill.
A day of boogie boarding at Jacksonville Beach ended with tears and a trip to the hospital.
So I started like screaming and just like crying, freaking out because I was bleeding everywhere.
A teen from Georgia is sharing her run-in with a sharp set of teeth.
And I'm continuing to track what's left of the few storms and what appears to be a very hot First Alert weekend forecast. I'll have that for you after the break.
Coming up on Action News, new troubles for a missing teen lost at sea.
She's got the skills and the tools to be just fine where she is right now.
A kiddie ride or a scary thrill for a group left hanging on a Ferris wheel.
Plus, a local man says he has the perfect cleaning solution for the Gulf, and BP is listening.
Fire concerns prompt a recall on a classic family minivan.
My goodness, what a fantastic goal for South Africa.
And get ready for some football, World Cup style. New at 10, she was attacked by a shark here on our beaches.
And tonight, this teenager is talking to Action News about her close encounter. Hannah Foster went to Jacksonville Beach for a little fun and ended up with quite a scare. She had 26 stitches, I should say, in her foot. Hannah tells us she's never going back in the ocean again. Action News' Kristen Cosby has more on the swim that changed this girl's life forever. We need to warn you, though, some of these pictures are very graphic.
The pictures are startling. They show 18-year-old Hannah Foster's shark bites. 29 stitches later, she's now sporting a huge wrap and crutches.
I want to get a shark tooth necklace, though. Kind of embellish the story, say I pulled it out.
It's safe to say Hannah has a sense of humor about her ordeal, but what happened really shook her up. Thursday, she was boogie boarding about 40 yards off the coast of Jacksonville Beach when she felt the bite and saw a 4-foot-long creature in the water.
Like I could feel it just go around my heel, and it was really scary. And so I started like screaming and just like crying and freaking out because I was bleeding everywhere.
That's when Hannah's boyfriend, Rick Hughes, grabbed her and swam to shore.
Just tried to get to her as fast as I could and try to get her out.
Hannah was taken to the hospital by ambulance where doctors told her she was bitten by a shark.
You could clearly see like a huge tooth mark, gash. You could see the shape of it in my leg.
And this isn't Hannah's first ocean scare. She was stung by a jellyfish when she was 9.
I'm just gonna stick to laying out in the sand in pools. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going in ever again.
Kristen Cosby, Fox 30 Action News.
We hope she goes in at some point back into the ocean. According to NOAA, about 80 people around the world are bitten by a shark each year. In our area, the most active waters for shark attacks are in New Smyrna Beach.
It's amazing video that we just can't get enough of tonight that's coming into the First Alert Weather Center. This is home video given exclusively to Action News by a neighbor when lightning hit this house not far away. In all, fires broke out at 5 homes because of lightning across Jacksonville tonight. But this is the worst of that damage. The intense lightning came with heavy rains. Parts of North Jacksonville and Nassau County got up to 3 inches of water in under an hour. And one look at First Alert Doppler HD at the height of the storms tells us the story. Look at all that lightning there. But taking a live look now, you can see we are in much better shape. So what does it mean for the weekend? Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish is here to tell us.
We need to take a closer look at that video, too. They say lightning doesn't strike twice. It looks like
exactly.
the lightning hit, there's a fire burning,
and then it hits
again.
If we can re-rack it real quick, let's take a quick look at this. And it is kind of interesting because it appears the fire's already occurred.
It's already burning. And then
there's another lightning strike. And there it is.
Okay,
You can see the fire.
And then you see it happen, and then sparks
here
fly.
Here comes the lightning strike. In a second, there it is.
Yeah. That looks like it's right there.
And actually, this raises a very good point. And more often than times than not, lightning will strike a couple of times before all the charges between the cloud and the ground are balanced, and then you don't have any more lightning. But Mother Nature's trying to balance it, trying to balance those charges. That's why a lightning strike occurs. And if it's not successful the first time, it'll strike again until it's successful. Wow. And more often than not, that's the way it goes. It'll strike consecutive times in the same place. So, some very intense lightning today. Yeah. We saw in some cases 1,000+ lightning strikes in just 10 minutes. First Alert Doppler HD now, though, look at that, a big old 0 in the upper left-hand corner of the screen where you see the lightning strikes. So we don't have any lightning out there now. The rain has pretty much dissipated. There might be a sprinkle here or there, but we're pretty much done. So that's some good news there, and we won't have any more during the rest of the night. Here's where it did rain. And it was locally, of course, very heavy in the greens. You're talking a ½ inch to an inch. The dark greens, 1 to 2 inches. The yellows, 2 inches plus. We had a little 2-inch plus there near Kingsland. Another one down near Keystone Heights where we had some of the wind damage too. But you can see there's still a lot of areas that didn't get any rain, or at least not much. The south side of Jacksonville really didn't get very much. Most of eastern Clay, St. John's, and much of Putnam County didn't get much either. And if you get out to around Lake City, northward up toward Fargo and Waycross, it wasn't very much. So there still were areas that didn't manage rainfall. And the weekend thunderstorms look to be pretty widely scattered, and the story becomes the heat. Temperatures, well, the rain cooled 73 in Jacksonville, but it's still 86 in Palatka at this hour where they didn't manage any of that rain, and 81 degrees yet in Waycross. So tomorrow during the day, if you're headed out, expect a lot of heat and a very low burn time. 75 at 8 a.m., 88 at noon, and already 95 at 5 p.m. Heat index will be running 100+. In fact, that's the big story for this weekend. Heat index triple digits, burn time 10 minutes. Be careful out there. And just some widely scattered afternoon storms. Put it into motion here hour by hour. Here's at noon, and a few storms developing. I think they're more widely scattered than today, but still can be locally heavy with a lot of lightning and brief, very heavy downpours. And Sunday, much the same story. A few storms will develop as we go through the day, but they, again, look to be pretty hit and miss until next week. And then we'll see the storms pick up. So we're in the 90s Monday, and in fact, all the way through the middle and end of next week. But we'll also have a better chance for more widespread thunderstorm activity by Monday and especially Tuesday into the middle of next week. And that will then continue into Thursday and Friday. You can log on to actionnewsjax.com throughout the weekend for all of your latest First Alert weather information. Here's the picture sent in again by Denise Johnson, Keystone Heights. Her porch destroyed by high winds earlier this evening. And there's the inside of it. Send your First Alert photo to weather at actionnewsjax.com.
Pope Benedict XVI is apologizing for the church sex abuse scandal.
But is it too little too late? Abuse victims are speaking out.
It's summertime, but before you take off on vacation with your family, don't miss our report on how to save big when you fly.